Brilliant. Greg, can you hear me okay? I'm assuming that you probably can. Just let me know if my that was brilliant. Yeah, that was very quick, wasn't it? Off frequency. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Brilliant. Yeah. I was what TX power were you using? I was using 50 watts. 50. Yeah. 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 Very good. So what do you think? I mean, I know you had a few theories. What do you think was the reason that we just stuck in a jungle of FT8 signals? People using too much power. It just seems that you go to a quiet area and the QSO is just so straightforward. We're done. I'm just wondering now whether we could try again, crank the power down and see. Yeah, too many big signals. Yeah, I'm just wondering whether we crank the power down to like, I don't know, 30 or 25, and if I start if I start calling CQ, if I turn the power down to 25 and then start calling CQ, see if you can still see me, and then I'll do the same. Oh, okay, hasn't completed, has it not? You're right. I've sent a reception report received RR73. Have you seen my RR73 yet? Yeah. Have you seen? Yeah. Have you seen my RR73? But I haven't seen yours. You're right. The software gives you a dialog box and says, "Yeah, I answered." Yeah. I haven't seen yours. I haven't actually seen your 73 yet. But my software, yeah, on the software you get the box up and to click save the QSO, which I've done, which means that it won't. So yeah, I haven't seen yours. Are you still sending your 7.3? Yeah, are you still sending it? Right. Okay. Yeah, I haven't received it yet. Can you? I can hear. I can hear CW. Someone calling CQ on CW. Can you hear that as well? Where you are? No, nothing. No. Yeah, no, no 7.3 just yet. Yeah. Okay, right. I've just seen your reception report again. You've just R17, so I'm just going to respond to that again with a 7.3. Right. Going to be sending you an RR73 in a second. Okay. Yeah, I'm just sending you just sent you another RR73. Ah, cool. Okay. Oh, I've got your 7.3 now. Yeah, brilliant. There you go. Easy as that. Amazing. Yeah, very good. Yeah, we did. Yeah, finally, we got there. So now I'm wondering whether to, mind you, the signal. I'll put my glasses back on. Check the signal strength. What we got? -17. Yeah. -17, -18. Makes you wonder whether we could do it again, but with lower power. Off band on 7020. Yeah. What do you think? 25? 30 to start with? I don't know. I mean, 20? Okay. All right. I'll just cranking the power down now. Okay. Okay. All right. Haven't seen it yet. This is going to be like watching paint dry for the other two people watching this. There are 4 concurrent viewers, so there are 5 now. So there are 3 other people. So make yourselves known. This is Greg and I decided to have an experiment. We've been trying to make QSO on FT8. This is the 3rd attempt now. Greg had the bright idea of trying it off band. So instead of 7074. We're on 7020, where it's quiet apart from there's a little bit of CW in the background, and we've just managed it. Right. Yeah, Greg. Okay, yeah, I've got you, Greg. Hang on a second. Right, Greg, I'm going to send you a reception report now. It's -19. Right, it's sending now, -19. You were -18 previously on 50, so now on 20 you're -19. Klaus. Hello, Klaus. How are you? Nice to see you here. Yeah, Greg and I are just having DX activists. That's right. We're just having it's a little experiment on FT8. We were. Give me a thumbs up, Klaus. I'm assuming you can hear me. The audio seems to be good. We've been trying to QSO on FT8. This is the 3rd attempt. We tried on the standard 40-meter band, and we were just getting swamped with big signals. So Greg had the bright idea of trying off-band 7020, and the QSO happened very quickly. We started on 50 watts, and now we've just cranked it down to 20. I've just seen Greg calling CQ with his TX power set at 20 watts, and I'm just replying to him now with a signal report on 20 from my end. So let's see if he can hear me. Greg, which antenna are you using? Are you using your vertical? I can't see. Oh, right. Okay, yeah. Okay, Greg, I've sent you 3 reception. Oh, hang on. Oh, no. You've seen me. Yeah. Yeah, I've just seen your reception report, R15. So I've just sent you 7.3. Have you seen? Yeah, let me know if you've seen my 7.3. Yes, Klaus. Yeah, I know that you and Greg have known each other for a long time. Yeah, yeah. Yes. Well, he's a good guy. Well, you're both very nice gentlemen. Yep, brilliant, done. So, right, okay. So Klaus, we've managed the QSO with 50 watts. We've cranked the power down to 20 watts and managed it. So what do you reckon, Greg? 10 watts. Try again. Oh, actually, Greg, I haven't seen your 7.3 yet. I'm jumping the gun, Greg. I haven't seen your 7.3. Neil Schiffer. Yes, Schiffhauer. Yeah, I know Neil Schiffhauer. Yeah, yeah. DK8, okay, yeah. Yeah. Hang on a minute, Greg. I haven't. If you've seen my RR73, I haven't seen your 7.3 yet, Greg. So keep going. Yeah. Yes, Klaus. Yeah, Neil Schiffhauer. Yeah, he's a very, very fine QRP specialist. Right. I hope you guys can still hear me. This is not been heard for a while. Obviously, it's been because we've been off band for 13 minutes, but that's where I was over the last hour. And just out of interest, in the last 24 hours, I did a little bit of FT8 last night. And there we go. Yeah, got you, Greg. Yeah, I've got your 7.3 now, so I think that's another completed QSO on 20 watts. Very good. Yeah, well, Klaus, when I got my first ham license, the foundation license, you're limited. I was limited to 10 watts anyway. So the only transceiver I had was you remember my ELAD FDM Duo, a sort of SDR that I bought for medium wave DXing, but also has a TX board, 5 watts. So I started. Oh, good, very good, Klaus. Yeah. So I started FT8 with 5 watts and made several hundred QSOs. Right, Greg, I'm going to turn the power down to 10 watts. Klaus, you know that I'm in a new house, a new QTH, and I met my neighbours on the other side for the first time this afternoon. They're an older couple. They've been living next door to my house since 1977. So they're both in their 70s, and although he's not a radio ham, his brother-in-law is, and he said when I saw your antenna up in the garden, which is a G5RV, he said, I knew you must have some radios. Hang on, Greg. Yeah, so he recognised straight away that I was into radio just by looking at the G5RV in the back garden. Nothing yet, Greg. Not seeing you yet. Actually, I'll tell you what I can do. That might be slightly more interesting for you guys. I don't know whether it's possible to see that very well, but hang on. Can you guys my phone just fell out of the stand. Am I still live? Are we still good? Hang on. Still good? Okay. Yeah, that's right. Just apologise for while I just reorientate my camera. I'm new to this live thing. Right, okay. So that's the current scene. Are we still good? Greg, Klaus, can you guys still hear me? Still, my phone is telling me we're still live. Video, audio still good? Video still good? Okay, good. Okay, great. Okay, good. Better. I'm just trying to. Okay, very good. Good. Thank you, Klaus. So Greg is TXing with 10 watts, and I'm trying to hear him. So nothing yet, Greg. Thanks, Klaus. Okay, yeah, sure. I'll try and call. Greg, still TX plus 1,000, okay? Okay, yeah, I've started calling. I'm TX even first, Greg. I got perfect match on 7020, 10 watts, all good. Okay. What was the signal to noise number? Yeah, that's the you can hear the when it transmits, you lose the audio from the Yaesu, Klaus, and then it comes back again when it's receiving. That might be what you maybe what you can hear, Klaus. It says minus 16. Oh, okay. Yes, Klaus. Yeah, that's just when it transmits. You the Yaesu's only got it. Yeah, it comes and goes. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, the Yaesu, you lose the audio obviously when it's transmitting, and then it'll come back again 15 seconds later. So Greg, it's that's 1, 2, 3, 5 calls so far. What about Greg? What about we turn the power up a little bit? Maybe go to. I mean, it shouldn't make any difference really. It's negligible, but maybe go back up to 15 watts, or wait a bit longer. No, exactly. No, it won't. No, it won't make any difference at all, I'm sure. I mean, I was just saying to Klaus, I mean, when I started FT8, I was actually, I'll tell you what I was using. I can show you. I was using that, the FDM Duo SDR transceiver. I mean, I bought that for medium wave DXing, you know, transatlantic medium wave DXing, but obviously that's a 5-watt QRP transceiver, and it was such a pain getting it set up, but I did manage it, and I made several hundred QSOs just on 5 watts, but obviously propagation dependent and everything else. Oh, there's the CW back. Yeah, that's right, Klaus. Yeah, the ELAD. Yeah, no, for data, it's such a pain to set it up. I think when I got my first foundation ham license, Klaus, the first thing I did actually was buy this. The first thing I did actually was buy this Baofeng UV5R for 2 meters 70 centimeters, and I remember actually because I was on my way to Brazil. I ordered that Baofeng from eBay or Amazon, and then I went to Brazil, and when I came back I started to use it. But the next thing I did was set up the ELAD for FT8, and I reckon it must have taken me a week to get it working properly. Whereas with the ASU FT991, that I got that working. Oh, that took about an hour. It was so much easier. Klaus, I have a colleague named Heinz here in Germany, which also use an ELAD. Ah, right, okay. What, the same as mine, FDM Duo, Klaus? They're brilliant receivers, although expensive. Oh, Greg, did you hear me? Looks like you did. Finally. Ah, okay. Yeah. Yeah, must be, yeah. Yeah. So, did you? I've seen your I've seen your 7.3. Have you seen my 7.3? Okay, great. There you go. Greg, does your antenna match on 80? We could try 80 meters, I suppose, if you've got time to experiment a little bit longer. It does match. Do you want to try 80 meters? Turn the power up. What should we go? 80 meters. Start at 50 watts again. On band. Oh, okay. On band. Just show you guys my little gizmo. Right, 3573. Let's get my glasses. That'll do. So, Greg, 50 watts? Got ya. Already got you, Greg. Hang on, Greg, there's something wrong with the SWR. Hang on a minute, let me just let's do that. that. Don't know if you can hear me, Greg, or not, but for some reason my antenna won't it doesn't want to match on 80 meters. It's telling me there's high SWR, but I've looked at it, I've measured it with adjusted it with my antenna analyzer as well, and there shouldn't be a problem. So I don't know what the issue there is. Yeah, don't know, Greg. Don't know. It was working perfectly last week. I don't know whether I'll have to have a play around with it. Yeah, it's very strange that it won't. The Yaesu's just complaining of a high SWR. I'm just thinking whether to go back to 40 and just double check that it's all working again. In fact, that's what I'm going to do, Greg. I'm going to go back to 40. I'll just go back to 40, just go back to the standard band, and then give that a try. 7074. Right. Yeah, very strange, Greg. I'm back on 40. Perfect match. It's very strange, actually, that it won't. That for whatever reason, it's decided it doesn't want to match. It doesn't want to match tonight on 80 meters. I don't know if you've got time or not, Greg, but I'm okay. So I'm back on 40 on the standard band 7074. We can probably see I've got 50 watts again. And shall I? If you've got time, I can call CQ, or I can. Are you on band? I can call you. I'll tell you what, Greg. What I'll do is I'll just start calling CQ. Plus 1,000. Not yet. Okay, no worries, Greg. Yeah, no worries at all. Okay. Right, so look at the reception reports. What have we got now? So I'm back on band on 40. Greg and I made a few. Okay, so now I'm being heard again. So immediately, within a minute or so, I'm being decoded in Estonia a couple of times. Down in Spain, southern Italy. Oh, hi there. Yeah, I had a new elec. I think the first SDR I owned was a new elec, actually. Yeah, like an RTL dongle. RTL, yeah. It was very good for the money. I think it cost like £30 or something. I've still got it actually around here somewhere. Right, that's me right now. Ah, Greg, gotcha. Very good. Yeah. It's weak signal, minus 24. But can you hear me? That is the question. Oh, good. Yeah, so you've tested the new elec. Yeah, it's not bad. I can remember I got a new elec RTL dongle probably 3 or 4 years ago, and I think I was using it with my MacBook Pro, actually. I think I'm sure I was using it with SDR Cube on the MacBook Pro. Does that make sense? I'm pretty sure that's what I was using. And I remember copying Radio Club de Para on 60 meters on 4885. That's that kind of lowish power Brazilian kind of regional station on shortwave. Copying it very well with the new elec. Interesting, yeah. Yeah, not bad. It was really good for the money, actually. I think I paid like £30 for it. I bought it. I didn't even really. I only really at the time. I only understood the concept of SDR. I'd never used one, never owned one, and I didn't even know whether it'd be any good or whether I'd enjoy using it. So I just bought a new elec because it was like 30 quid from Amazon, and I thought it was good. Catalan, how can Clint see only what is he receiving on PSK Reporter? Yes, I can. I've got 2 computers running. I've got 2 laptops. I've got the laptop here, which is controlling the Yaesu FT991 down there, that's actually doing the transmitting and receiving, and then I've got another laptop here. So that's my signal on 40 meters over the past hour. So getting out there. I'm calling Greg on band. We've already QSO'd a couple of times in an off band or off a standard FT8 band. It's quieter, and we QSO'd almost immediately. And now For some reason, my G5RV was really struggling to wasn't well. It matches, but my using my antenna analyzer on 80 meters, but for whatever reason, the Yaesu was complaining of high SWR and wouldn't transmit. So I've just gone back to 40, and there's no problem. So I don't know what's going on. So yeah. So anyway, I'm still calling Greg, and I don't think he can hear me. Oh, okay. Very good. I haven't seen it yet, Greg. Minus 24, right, okay, yeah. Just checking the match. It's perfect. Kamara Tengu, yeah. Yeah. Yes, he's a very good DXer, Klaus. Very good. A very good DXer indeed. Been decoded on 2 islands in Gran Canaria. I have actually been to Gran Canaria on holiday. Las Palmas de Gran Canaria and Santa Cruz, Tenerife. There you go. Not too bad. Your Gran Canaria, Greg, yeah? Yeah, I've been there years ago. Yeah, brilliant place. I've got a friend of mine who I've known since I was a teenager. He's older than me. He goes to Lanzarote every year, and he's been, this guy, he's actually he's Algerian actually. He comes from Algeria, but he was a kind of friend of mine when I first started work. Oh my goodness me, 30 years ago. And Algerian guy, and lovely chap, lovely family. His daughter actually has a really good job working for Vodafone. Vodafone's UK headquarters are not far from my QTH, about half an hour away in Newbury. And but he and his family, they go to Tenerife every year on holiday, sometimes twice a year, and they've been going for like 20 or 30 years. Great, mine. Klaus, did you see my video? I'm going to Australia on Sunday on a business trip. Unfortunately, not a holiday. I don't know if you saw that. I did do a video about it yesterday. I think it was, but you may not have seen it. I did it like late last night. But yeah, I'm going to Brisbane in Australia on a business trip for sort of 7 or 8 days, flying out on Sunday. See you, Greg. Thanks for that. Well, we finally did it. We made 2 or 3 QSOs in the end, so that's all good. We'll have another go sometime, Greg. I'm going to carry. I'll just carry on. Okay, right. Let's. I find 2 meters and 70 centimeters as dead quite a lot of the time, I've got to say. I'm trying to persevere with it, but I'm struggling. I'm struggling to hear anything on or copy anything on. Actually, last summer, to be fair, I connected my Baofeng UV5R. UV5R? Actually, mine's a GT3. One of these. I connected that to a super antenna on a 4-meter fishing pole, and actually actually made a few contacts through repeaters and stuff in and around Oxford, sort of southern England area. But that was last summer when I was recuperating from my hernia operation. But other than that, it seems to be dead a lot of the time. Yeah. How is it in England? Yeah, it's what, 2 meters and 70 centimeters. Yeah, I find it's patchy in England, is what I would say. Like I said, last summer I made quite a few contacts via repeaters and stuff, but a lot of the time, 2 meters and 70 centimeters seem pretty dead to me. Not many operators on there, which is a bit of a shame. In fact, when me and a guy that works with me, we drove up to the National Hamfest, it was a 4-hour drive. We took two Baofengs with us, and we were trying to contact people whilst we were on the road. You know, whoever wasn't, we took it in turns to drive, and we made one contact in 8 hours of driving, down motorways and stuff on our way to the National Hamfest. Actually, I don't think we managed to speak to anyone on the way there. We spoke to one guy on the way back, on the way home. I'm just calling a Serbian station, Yankee Uniform 7 Bravo Romeo. Catalin, yeah, galvanic isolator. So I've got two. I've got a GI300 and a GI1000. The way to use it is to position the galvanic isolator as close to the receiver as you can. In fact, I can show you. See, that is I'm sorry, the light's not in here. Is not very good. So that's a GI. That's my GI300 there. I've also got a GI1000 around here somewhere. But basically, attach that to the back of the receiver. It has to be as close as possible. If it with any length of coax, it's not properly shielded, and then attach the antenna so you can actually see. And I find that it can drop the noise floor by as much as 10 dBs. Amazing device. I use it with the ELAD a lot, actually. Oh, okay. The Serbian station has answered. Let me. I can just show you. So, my low HF150 galvanic isolator, and that device, in my experience, as I said, will drop the noise floor by up to 10 dBs. They're amazing devices. So there you go. Thought that might be of interest. And whilst I've been showing you that, the QSO with the Serbian station, Yankee Uniform 7 Bravo Romeo, has completed. So another QSO. Right, let's have a little listen. There you go. There's a station in the Lebanon that I've previously worked. Oscar Delta 5 Zulu Zulu. Can't remember when I worked him, but I do remember I must have worked him because he's gone green. He's green. Kuwaiti station. 9 Kilo 2 Hotel Queen. Ah, yes, Klaus, Dennis. Dennis Walter. Benito was apparently started by his father. I met him at the National Hamfest towards the end of last year. Yeah, he's a very, very nice guy, and his products are very good. I'm lucky because he gives me his products for testing. In fact, I use his. Well, you probably know I use the Benito Mega Loop when I'm traveling. In fact, I'm going to Australia. Yes, Dennis, I'm going to Australia on Sunday on a business trip, and I'm taking the Mega Loop FX antenna with me and the RSP DX from SDR Play. Yeah, my pleasure, Catalin. My pleasure. You're right. His products are very, very good, and they're well priced compared to some antennas on the market. The Megaloop FX is kind of like a portable Wellbrook loop, except it's a bit cheaper and you can run it on 5 volts USB. Superb. I'm just curtailing the FT8 for a while. I'm just going to see if I can get my antenna matched for my high field sked. So let's have some.
Good evening. You are also Parliament Truck 20, 939, August 8th, this is Yoshi, over. Okay, then, thank you very much. No problem, no problem. I'm enjoying it every day. The radio is in my mood. No, outside. Thank you very much, welcome. August 8th, this is JK on BTS 17. Arigato.
Okay, so I've got this is on 40, just something to listen to while I've got my icon on, set up on 80 meters now, match to 80. Yeah, let's have a listen to 80 on the G5R.
Italy Whiskey 8, Romeo Victor Golf. Secure Delta X-ray. Asia Pacific over. Leaving Japan. This is Italy Whiskey 8, Romeo Victor Golf. Italy Whiskey 8, Romeo Victor Golf. Secure Delta X-ray. Italy Whiskey 8, Romeo Victor Golf. Secure Delta X-ray. Asia Pacific area. Secure 40. Italy Whiskey 8, Romeo Victor Golf. Italy Whiskey 8, Romeo Victor Golf. Calling the X. Secure the X, secure Delta X-ray. Asia Pacific area. Italy Whiskey 8, Romeo Victor Golf. Italy Whiskey 8, Romeo Victor Golf. Asia Pacific area over. Secure the X, secure Delta X-ray. This is the Italy Whiskey 8, Romeo Victor Golf. Italy Whiskey 8, Romeo Victor Golf. Secure Delta X-ray. Italy Whiskey 8, Romeo Victor Golf. Secure the X, secure Delta X-ray. This is the Italy Whiskey 8, Romeo Victor Golf. Italy Whiskey 8, Romeo Victor Golf. Secure Delta X-ray. Asia Pacific area over. Asia Pacific area. Secure Delta X-ray. Italy Whiskey 8, Romeo Victor Golf. Italy Whiskey 8, Romeo Victor Golf. Calling the X.
Vaping. Ah, yes.
Secure Delta.
Vaping. Yeah. Sorry, I missed your comment. I am. If you're still here, yes. We're on 40 meters and I am vaping, yes. I smoked cigarettes for like 20 years and then started vaping. I always wanted to give up, and vaping finally freed me from them. But as my eldest daughter says to me, Dad, I'm proud of you for giving up smoking, but are you just addicted to vaping now instead?
Asia Pacific area. Italy Whiskey 8, Romeo Victor Golf. Italy Whiskey 8, Romeo Victor Golf. Secure Delta X-ray. Asia Pacific area over. Secure Delta X-ray, secure the X. Asia Pacific area. Italy Whiskey 8, Romeo Victor Golf. Italy Whiskey 8, Romeo Victor Golf. Asia Pacific area over. Secure the X, secure Delta X-ray. Secure 40. Italy Whiskey 8, Romeo Victor Golf. Italy Whiskey 8, Romeo Victor Golf. Secure Delta X-ray. Asia Pacific area. Italy Whiskey 8, Romeo Victor Golf. Italy Whiskey 8, Romeo Victor Golf. Secure Delta X-ray.
Yes, Klaus, I agree. It is a good idea to quit smoking. And it took me 20 years. Every time I had a cigarette, I thought about giving up. And it was only vaping that saved me. That's assuming that what my doctor says is correct. It's much, much less dangerous.
Secure Delta X-ray. Asia Pacific Sierra, call the security access.
Cheers. Yes. Yes, that's right, Klaus.
Thank you very much.
Oh,
Alessandro, thank you very much. Bye.
very nice, Klaus. I don't understand why anyone could be against vaping, because so many people have given up smoking real cigarettes and it is so much safer. I think there's an argument that youngsters might just take up vaping when they might not have taken up smoking, but I think that's a weak argument. I think it's good. Right, let's have a look at 80 meters. I'm taking you with me. I think I can.
zu zweit nur sind und haben gerade ein technisches Problem, dann bleiben wir oftmals auch in USB. Das ist die erste Runde. Dann kommt der Mittwoch. Zwischen 20:45 Uhr oder 21 Uhr und 21:30 Uhr auf 1,877.
Yes, Klaus.
Meter. Da geht es oftmals sehr, sehr gut, weil 160 eben eher ungestört ist. Aber auch da am Mittwoch gucken wir immer auf der 72 ist eine deutsche Runde.
Klaus, yeah, I use software to decode Navtex and RTTY, but that's about it. I haven't done SSTV, but I've always meant to try SSTV, but never got around to it.
Und dann eben am Donnerstag, das ist eigentlich die BC 610 Runde. BC 610 ist ein Militärsender von der Firma
Thanks, Klaus.
Kräfter, der bei der amerikanischen Army hier in Deutschland und auch in den Benelux-Staaten, England, sehr, sehr häufig im Einsatz war. Oder gibt es eben in den Niederlanden noch einige, die mit dem BC 610 arbeiten. Der macht sauber 500 Watt. Na, der hat richtig noch einen Modulator, macht da, ich glaube, 150 Watt NF alleine schon. Und das ist schon ein feines Geschütz. Er sieht unspektakulär aus. Musste mal googeln. Bravo Charlie 610. Und den benutzen die meisten von meinen holländischen Funkfreunden, sind mindestens die laut sind. So, und das war's dann schon. Ne? Also sonntags, mittags und dann mittwochs 21 Uhr bis 21:30 auf 160 und Donnerstagabend die BC 610 Runde und dann ist die Woche rum, Ralf, komm. Schon dich mal. Ich würde dann auch wieder nach oben gehen oder nochmal in den Rechner schauen. Ja, wir haben uns ja eine Weile nicht gesprochen. Bei mir hat sich einiges verändert. Ich habe groß aufgeräumt hier. Ich habe mich von 200 Kilo Schrott oder Nachrichtentechnik, für mich ist das ja hochwertige Technik, habe ich mich aber dann doch getrennt. Ich bin da an einen extremen Sammler geraten, der hat mich da wirklich von Dingen befreit, wo ich froh drum war. Ich habe also den großen SK050, das ist der große Bruder von meinem SK010, den habe ich weitergegeben mit einer zusätzlichen separaten Endstufe. Dann habe ich meinen Geloso verkauft. Dann hatte ich noch einen Johnson Viking, ein uraltes Gerät aus den 50er Jahren. Der hätte auch komplett restauriert werden müssen, auch mechanisch. Den habe ich ihm auch gegeben. Und dann habe ich meinen Köpenicker KSG 1300 abgebaut. Die ganze Peripherie, den Kram hat er auch dann im zweiten Mal abgeholt.
Das war nicht.
Transit zum Bus und hat bei der ersten Fuhre nicht alles weggekriegt. Ist dann nochmal gekommen und hat die KSG-Sachen abgeholt. Der Sender steht noch hier. Da habe ich eventuell vor, aber das ist wahrscheinlich dann auch wieder ein Traum, oder die Leute drängen mich dahin, den als Endstufe zu betreiben. Ja, das ist machbar. Na, wenn man die ganze Logik außer Betrieb nimmt und nur die Module und den Splitter und den Combiner und das Overwellenfilter und die Spannungsversorgung benutzt. Naja, der steht auf jeden Fall noch hier.
All right.
Der ganze andere Kram ist weg. Auch der
Yes, Klaus, yeah.
ist versprochen, den habe ich auch abgebaut. Ich habe also hier ganz schön Platz. Was hier jetzt noch steht, ist eben hier das SDR, der anderen 10 mit der Russenendstufe, mit der Geo3.
I just call SDR.
Für mich jetzt hört. Daneben steht komplett SEG 100 und daneben noch ein SEG 15. Die sind beide in Betrieb, also funktionsfähig und mit Schalter umlegen sind die an der Antenne. Ja, und ganz außen steht jetzt der 7.3er.
Very good, Catalin.
Später dann wieder mit der Herkules.
You have a strong signal from this guy, yeah?
Damit soll der ja im Urlaub auch mal arbeiten. Und drüben im anderen Raum habe ich nach wie vor meinen SK010. Dann habe ich 3 Empfänger stehen, den E309 von Siemens, den EK07 von Rode und Schwarz und dann den R250 von den Russen und auch noch einen R154. Also da steht immer noch genug, aber ich habe wirklich viel abgerüstet. Ich habe sogar meinen heißgeliebten Orion 2 Tentex-Gerät habe ich auch abgebaut. Nur der verkauft sich schwer. Der ist abgekündigt, da gibt es keine Reparatur mehr an dem Gerät. Und das schmälert natürlich das Interesse dann immens. Der hat mal 4.000 und gekostet. Ich will ihn jetzt für 1.000 weggeben und ich kriege ihn nicht los. Aber unter 1.000 ist meine Schmerzgrenze. Dann bleibt er eben hier stehen. Aber was soll's? Der steht nur im Regal. Der ist auch schon abgebaut. Ist also auch eigentlich nicht mehr vorhanden. Ja, dann habe ich noch, vielleicht hast du ja noch eine Minute, kannst mir dein Ohr leihen, du musst ja nicht sprechen. Ich habe um den Tentec beim Flohmarkt gut zu präsentieren, habe ich mich mal mit der Problematik Magnetikantenne beschäftigt und habe eine Empfangsloop gebaut. Also einen Rahmen von 1 Meter mal 1 Meter. Da sind dann 4 mal 50 Zentimeter, also 2 Meter Draht rundherum gespannt. Ich habe noch eine zweite einen Rahmen mit 2 Windungen und unten einen Kasten. Da habe ich 3 Pakete Rundfunkdraco drin und schalte dann mit einem Schalter entweder 500 Pico an die Spule oder 1000 Pico an die Spule und habe fest an der Spule einen UKW-Draco mit 20 Pico, den ich, wenn ich den Rundfunkdraco eingeschaltet habe, als Reihenabstimmung benutze. Da stelle ich nur auf den Dip mit dem Rundfunkdraco und mache dann diese, wenn du schon mal mit einer Magnetantenne gearbeitet hast, dieser Dip ist ganz spitz, die ist sehr, sehr selektiv. Und das geht natürlich mit so einem 10 oder 15 Pico UKW-Draco dann sehr schön. Und für 20 Meter brauche ich nur diese 20 Pico. Und mit sowas habe ich mich die letzten Tage herum experimentiert und habe das dann auch mit zum Flohmarkt genommen. Aber ich habe nicht dran gedacht, dass die Halle, ein Blechdach und auch Blechaußenwände, die Fassade, alles genietete Bleche, Das war also ein faradäischer Käfig. Ne? Und da habe ich so gut wie gar nicht empfangen mit der Antenne. Aber mein Nachbar auf dem Flohmarkt, das war eine Gruppe Fuchsjäger, diese Teiler. Und die hatten zur Ansicht einen 80-Meter-Fuchs dabei. Und den haben wir dann laufen lassen. Und dieses Signal habe ich dann mit meiner Raumantenne eingefangen, war ja kein Problem. Und den habe ich dann auf den Orion gegeben und dann konnten die Leute mal so ein bisschen die Selektivität und den Empfänger prüfen. Ne? Das waren die Erlebnisse der letzten Tage. Der Flohmarkt war trotz Virus gut besucht und ich habe sehr gute Umsätze gemacht. Ne? Es ist immer so, auf den Flohmärkten laufen genug Leute rum, die sich da nur die Zeit vertreiben, die sich einen schönen Tag machen, aber die gar kein Interesse haben am Kauf. Und das ist natürlich für uns Verkäufer, zu denen ich ja gehöre, immer uns ein Dorn im Auge. Na, die stehen 10 Minuten vor meinem Tisch, krapschen mit ihren fettigen Pfoten meine Teile an, aber haben überhaupt kein Interesse. Na, und die Leute, die wirklich dahin kommen, um irgendwas zu kaufen, die werden...
Thank you very much, Klaus. Thank you. That's my friend. Yeah, likewise. I always wanted to meet you personally. But it was great. Thank you for coming by. I've started doing these live streams just every now and then, so as not to commit myself. But it was great to have you turn up, Klaus, and spend some time on the radios. I'm glad you liked it. I'm going to swap radios now and see if I can hear my friends from my radio club on the Yaesu FRG 7700. But we'll do it again. We'll do it again soon. Right. So I'm just going to see. I have my club net, low field net on a Friday evening at 20, 30 hours. And there they are.
Amateur Radio Society's Friday Night Net Golf 0 Alpha Oscar Zulu Key 0 AOZ. Calling any members of the Harwell Amateur Radio Society Golf 0 Alpha Oscar Zulu G0 AOZ. Calling CQ the Harwell Amateur Radio Society's Friday Night Net Golf 0 Alpha Oscar Zulu G0 AOZ. Listening for any members, please call in. CQ, G0 AOZ, Golf 0 Alpha, Oscar Zulu, G0 AOZ, calling CQ, G0 AOZ, Golf 0 Alpha, Oscar Zulu, G0 AOZ, calling CQ for the Harwell Amateur Radio Society's Friday Night LFNet. This is Golf 0 Alpha, Oscar Zulu, G0 AOZ. Listening for any members of the Harwell Amateur Radio Society, please call in now. Evening, Dave.
So, guys, this is my these are my friends from the Harwell Amateur Radio Society, the radio club that I joined a while back. Because I'm using a G5RV, I can't match that antenna to top band, so I intend to listen to them on top band and then join in when they QSY to 80 meters. And I love using the FRG 7700 for this type of thing. This radio has got soul.
We're getting everything sorted out, hopefully. DBK G0 AOZ with a pause. Lovely fine signal from you, Mike. No problems at all. Go ahead, Dave. Yeah, that was F4 BRB, wasn't it? It was indeed. Yeah, okay, sorry. I'm not going to pass the call time. Very good evening, Mike. Hopefully you're not with us now. Give you a proper report next time. Okay, Roger. Yes, you're about 35 dB. using the quarterway, sorry, the quarterway round test. He's already, and it's at about 50 feet above ground, more or less an hour. Well, yes, there's water here, and there's something gathered. Thursday is going ahead, but the wind will do the inflows and so on. There'll be no problems with that, so no problems there. So, it's up to see whether we can do a hike. As you say, because the areas are loading properly, well, it's a little bit of a problem of mine as well, but it does seem to be loading. I suspect that the one here in the on-80 meters as well as the on-top-bound, but we'll find out in a few moments. Okay, thank you. See if anybody else is going to join in. Is there a definite case for contact with the tech?
Nothing else heard in the break. Got quite a reasonable quiet frequency at this moment, he says, touching a piece of wood. G8DVK, G0AOZ returning with the now group. Okay, thank you for the report, Dave. You're 5 and 9 plus 20 on my meter. Very fine signal indeed, no problems at all to copy you. Coming through very nicely indeed. Okay, Mike, well, it looks like you're loading up okay, because you're certainly radiating a very nice signal. I'll give you a report after you're over, but certainly coming through very nicely at the moment. Fox 4, Victor Romeo Bravo to take G0AOZ in the group, over.
So the station that's calling now is Foxtrot 4 Victor Romeo Bravo, and that's a friend of mine, Mike, who I think he's actually, although he's based in the UK, he spends a lot of time in France. I think he's calling in from France with a weak signal that I can just about make out.
Yes, okay, Mike, for VRB, G0AOZ, returning with the group. Yes, excellent signal from you, Mike. Good solid 5 and 9. Just occasional dips down, but I think that's probably a bit of QSB. I don't think it's anything at your end. I'm pretty sure it's going to be QSB, but for the most part, a nice solid 5 and 9 and perfectly readable, so that's good. Glad it's all radiating nicely. That's always pleasing to know after a little climb away and quite a bit of bad weather in between, so good to know that you're radiating out nicely, Mike. Okay, on the trip over and the fact that the sea looked a bit on the rough side, but turned out to be quite a smooth crossing. That's very good. We've generally had smooth crossings.
Well, I suppose you could argue that I'm new to this. I'll take 9. That's fine. Fine by me. Maybe they'll get a bit more popular. You never know.
Quite a swell on it, I suppose.
I mean, this is what I just normally spend most of my time doing anyway, so I'm not actually doing anything special other than this is kind of what I do. I just sit in my shack and listen to the radio and do FT8, do the odd bit of ham radio. So, but it's nice that you know, some of you can be here with me.
For next time, it will be nice and smooth when we go over again. But there we are. We'll wait and see. Right. Okay. Let's put it back round to Dave again. And leave a break to see if there are any other stations who wish to join in with the net this evening. Golf 8 Delta Victor Kilo with a pause. This is G0AOZ and the Harbour Amateur Radio Society's Friday Night Net. Yes, good evening, Ron.
Wow.
I know what you mean about that ferry, by the way. We haven't seen it quite as extreme as coming down the ferry ground, but we've certainly seen it turning at the bottom and obviously struggling when it's still tilted past the ground. It's very, very shallow there when the tide goes out. So glad everything's all right, and you're all right, no problems, no unexpected visitors this time, hopefully.
Catalin, can you not see or hear? Can somebody give me a thumbs up on the chat to let me know that we've still got audio and video? Please. I'm assuming I was assuming that everybody could see hear what was going on. How about you, Dsas? Can you hear and see okay?
Okay, cool. It's nice to hear Ron coming on. See if I can call him next time. But he was just more or less getting on my noise point, but I'll start to listen to the list of it, put it that way. Is there definitely contact with your character?
Yes, okay, G8 DBK, G0AOZ with a slight pause there. Okay, I'm just checking the noise level here. I've got about F5 at the moment, noise on this frequency, so not too bad. I did tune up slightly higher than our normal frequency as somebody seemed to be on there. I think it was an Italian station coming through quite strongly, really, so I thought it best to just QSY slightly up to this frequency of 184850, which probably agrees with something that you've got anyway. Right, good evening, Ron. I'll give you a signal report after your next over. Let's see if we can copy you. Golf 0 Bravo November Charlie to take G0AOZ and the Harbour Amateur Radio Society's Friday Night Net.
Oh, I understand, Kathleen. I understand. Okay, very good, Kathleen.
Yes, okay, Ron, G0BNC, G0AOZ returning. Yes, there's four of us on. Dave, Mike, F4VRB from France, yourself and me. So there's four of us on this frequency at the moment, Ron. So you possibly haven't heard Mike transmit yet. So Mike is due to pass it to Mike after you're over. So thank you for the report, Ron. You're 5 and 7 with me. 57, 5 and 7 is your report with me. So it'll be interesting to see what the others give you. So without further ado, let's put it round to Mike. Fox 4, Victor Romeo Bravo, G0AOZ, and the Harbour Amateur Radio Society's Friday Night Net. Yes, okay, Mike, for BRB, G0AOZ returning. Okay, you're doing very well, I think, Mike. You say you had a long day yesterday and lots of things to do once you arrived, so you're doing well to join us this evening, and it's much appreciated you coming up and giving us a call from France, which is, very interesting to see what the signals are like. I suggest that pass it round to Dave and then once to Ron, and then we QSY to 80 metres. So without further ado, round to you, Dave. G8DVK, G0AOZ in the group, over.
Yeah, G0AOZ in the group from G8DVK. Fine, thanks, Roger. No problem, just a minute. Let me turn that green down. It's sort of coming in a sort of delay echo, which is off-putting. Okay, Mike, yes, you're coming through on about S9. I've gone back to the main aerial, listening to you, Mike, and you're S9 plus 10 dBs. So my noise floor is about S9, so you're 10 dB above that. So it's easy, it's relatively easy copy, but very much quieter. The signal to noise ratio is so much better on the loop. Ron, unfortunately, I really am struggling. I mean, if I gave you a report, it's about 3 by 5. I'm kind of copying sort of 60% of what you're saying, but really couldn't hold the QSL at that level. This is a great shame. I don't know why it just doesn't radiate from your property on 160, but no doubt we'll be able to hear you on 80 metres only QSY. And okay, about the contest this weekend, I might have a play around. I've probably got a little bit of spare time, and see if we can just knock up a few points. And yes, Roger, Christmas, the frequency shift, yes, there was another station the Astrid away on our normal frequency, so you did absolutely the right thing to QSY. I've got a feeling I might have moved frequency slightly. Yes, I was playing with the RIT to try and get Ron in, and I was putting all the filters on and playing around with things, just trying to do like a copy run, and just can't quite get enough signal from him, even on the loop. But without the loop, I can't hear a thing of him. With the loop, I can actually copy him. Probably if I rotated the loop, it would help to improve his signal. It probably is this aerial is whilst it loads up on 80. It's halfway technically and...
So they're going to QSY to 80 metres in a minute, and then I'm going to get involved, hopefully. So that might be a bit more interesting.
Yes, okay, to FT8 G0AOZ returning with the group, okay. Yes, just had a message from Tim to say he can't join us tonight, but he sends his regards to everybody. So I think it's just the four of us tonight on top band anyway. We'll see if we attract any more. Maybe Clint will be around on 80 metres, I don't know. But anyway, I'll put it over to you, Ron, and then we'll QSY to 80 metres. G0BNC, this is G0AOZ of the group, over.
Hi, Dave. It was a regular top band, huh? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why, but these are friends of mine from the Harwell Amateur Radio Society, the club I joined when I decided to take up ham radio, and a bunch of really good guys. Well, everybody in the club is, but for whatever, I guess it's because of proximity. It's top band and 80 metres really the only bands where you're going to be you're not going to suffer from being sort of inside the skip distance, in the dead zone, effectively. So they always start on top band, and then we QSY to 80 when I get involved. What's interesting is that I've got another station set up in Abingdon, and same antenna, a full-size G5RV, but that antenna has got about 50 meters of coax from the ladder line to my radio, and that actually matches on top band, whereas the G5RV at home, which has a much shorter coax, doesn't. So the coax acts like a capacitor, I suppose. But yeah, this G5RV doesn't match on top band, whereas the one in Abingdon with the long coax does.
Right, shall we QSY to 80 metres, and I'll give you a call on the usual frequency. This is G0AOZ, closing the net on top band for the Harwell Amateur Radio Society, and QSY to 80 metres. See you there.
Oh, lovely signal in London.
Yeah, many thanks.
bit slowly, so again, I will try to copy you. That's an even for fun. Might as well be. Echo India number 2. It's about the noise, so just about the noise, so yeah, it was quite good copy as it normally is. Last week, I think it was last week, I'm pretty sure it's last week. Second was a dreadful, all of them. A bit like the team wrong on the two-meter contest. That was from home.
Yeah, I thought I'd give you a little tune around on 80.
Friday night net. Okay, Ron, good signal from you in 5 and 9. A nice solid 5 and 9, which was better than last week. You've given me the same report that you gave me last week. Thank you very much for that. But your signal, your transmitted signal is definitely improved over what it was last week. I only managed to give you 5 and 7 to 8 last week, but you're fine, a good solid 5 and 9 this week. No problems at all. Right, let's put it round to Mike. See how you're doing on 80 metres, Mike. Hopefully things have loaded up correctly. I guess they must have done, or you wouldn't be on so quickly. Fox 4, Victor Romeo Bravo, G0AOZ of the group, over.
2E0HTG.
All copy from you. A nice solid 5 and 9 from you. No problems at all. Absolutely spot on 5 and 9. No variation at this time. Thank you for my 5 and 8. And interesting that I can give you a slightly higher report than you can give me. But there we are. That's the way it goes sometimes. But no problems at all, and receiving you very nicely. Dave, round to you. Golf 8 Delta Victor Kilo to take. This is G0AOZ and the Harbour Amateur Radio Society Friday night net.
Yeah, G0AOZ in the group from G8DVK. Again, sitting with the noise floor on 80 at about S7 sort of peaking to S8. So, Ron, you're about just over the 9, but I can copy you okay, so no problems there. And Mike, 5.9, 9 plus about 5 dBs, easy copy, no problems at all. I suspect the audio is helping on that. Oh, I put the processor on, by the way, just to, hopefully it's helping rather than degrading. Roger, you're plus 15, so that's the signal as it is at the moment. Interesting to sort of make comparisons to what it was like last time. But I don't hold much hope for this. It's interesting. I wish I could just quickly change back to the dipole now for 80 and see how that improves things, because I know it definitely loads better. And my little signal strength meter or field strength meter in here is flicking away, so I've obviously got a bit of RF lurking around the shack. Don't feel anything warming me up, so I guess it's not
moment. Fine, I wonder if anybody else is going to join the frequency. Clint normally comes on, and okay about Tim sending his apologies. That's okay, it's a shame, but we quite often have other things on Friday evenings. Okay, so there we are, those are the reports. And Mike, regards to Anne, she's listening at the shack. And as I said before, glad you got there and everything was tickety-boo. G0AOZ in the group from JTVK.
2E0HTG.
Yes, copy you, Clint, 2E0HTG, writing it down in the log there. Very good evening, G0AOZ, returning with the group. Okay, well, your report is up on last week, Dave. You're 5 and 9 plus 10 with me. You were initially, when you came on, 20 over, but that soon dropped back, and you've been a solid plus 10 for the majority of your over. Thank you for my report, which is good. That's up on last week, so I think propagation generally is better this week. I've got something like a 5 and 6 to 5 and 7 noise level here on 80 metres, so quite acceptable at the moment. Right, without further ado, let's put it round to you, Clint, see how you're doing. I'll give you a signal report after your next over. 2E0HTG to take, G0AOZ of the group, over.
G0AOZ in the group, 2E0HTG. Yeah, very good evening, Roger and everyone else. I'm at my home QTH this evening, so I've been listening to you guys on Top Band as usual. I can't give you quantitative signal reports on Top Band tonight because I was using an old Yaesu FRG 7700 sort of communications receiver from about 1977 with a very, very stingy S meter that I don't think is reading correctly. But I can give you a qualitative report. Yeah, Roger, your signal was very strong. I'm sure it was at least 10 over. But it's kind of guesswork. Mike, GHCUL, you were okay actually. Copied you pretty well. A little bit of QSB. Dave, G8DVK was no problem. Heard you okay. And Ron, you were weak, but I could still hear you okay. Without a problem. Maybe better with headphones. And Mike actually, F4VRB, yeah, mostly heard as well. Not so with very little problem. So as I said, I can't give you actual S meter readings because this 40-odd year-old comms receiver, the S meter is not working. It is working, but it's very, very stingy. I don't think it's accurate. But I'll come back to you with your reports on 80 meters on my next over. Okay, back to you, Roger. G0AOZ in the group from 2E0HTG.
Clint, no other takers at this time. 2E0HTG, G0AOZ, returning. Okay, fine business, Clint. You're 5 and 8 to 5 and 9 with me. Just varying slightly between the two. But good signal, no problem at all to copy you at this time. And coming through quite nicely. Okay, let's put it round to Ron at the top of the shop again to go through, and you'll be able to give some signal reports after hearing all sections, Clint. G0BNC to take, G0AOZ in the group, over.
Okay, the wheels were on 80 is 9 plus 5, and you were 9 plus 10, Roger. Well, you were first time, but you somewhere along the line you dropped down to just slightly above the noise. But I still copied you. Okay, no problem at all. That's the noise. Slightly above, very slightly above 9 plus 5. So there's absolutely no problem at all. Mike was on the 5, 9 plus 5, which is on the noise, and I didn't copy much of Mike at all. I knew it was there, and right from start to finish, and when he stopped, but I couldn't actually get much of the what Mike was saying, unfortunately. Dave, that processor certainly works for me. You're the strongest signal tonight.
59 plus 15. Certainly it went up quite considerably from the top one thing. Anyhow, so yeah, really good signal. I think it's probably the best I've heard you for quite some time actually. And you're no problem at all because you're 59 plus 10. So you're quite a bit above the noise. And when it goes above the noise, it's okay. But it's just when it's below or on the noise, I sort of really struggle. I'm down the area where it's this week, not even on the Mac loop. Because I've been doing other things. Got a bit of playing with the radio. I've got the radio working, only on half power. And I've been making masks, would you believe? I thought they were making a video, but I've never made a video before. But you can't buy them. You can't buy beans.
For those of you that have just joined, this is the Harwell Amateur Radio Society Friday Night Net. And this is Ron, G0BNC, and he lives in Whitney. He's about 4 miles away from me.
I look at the tools. There was hardly any left. Some of the real cheap jack stuff. And we went into a little site and there was no toilet.
He's slightly off frequency because if I adjust the RIT back to 0, you can listen to his audio.
And kitchen rolls. I got a bit or something, so I've been busy on that and nothing on the aerial. That was warm enough. Apart from the 2 metre well, I was going to put a different Quaggy up, but the elements were there. It was set up for 2 times 8, I think it was. And I couldn't remember how to get back to 2 times 2, which would have been easier to manhandle and stuff. But I think I've probably lost one of the spacers, I think. Because I use all the same things. I've got to do some more calculations and I've put some holes in the aluminium so it does all. Here do the plus 2, plus 8, plus 16. With just one set of extensions. But I didn't get around to finishing doing that in the end. So I used the 10x1 on the house roof with Val not being here, shaking me head off, and diabolical. So I don't know how you managed to get your Andrew off, Dave, and Mike, was it? I can't remember, it was about 132, I think. Wonderful score. I wish. G0AZ in the group on G0BNC. G0AOZ returning. Okay, good signal again from you, Ron. No problems at all to copy you, of course. And be interesting to hear what Mike, whether you've had to bring in the matching unit within the rig, or whether the automatic ATU managed to sort it all out on 80 metres or not, or whether it's still playing hard to get. For BRB to take G0AOZ in the group, over. AOZ returning. Yes, I think I'm putting out the right power here. So I'm not quite sure why it's not behaving itself tonight as regards the signals to you. But anyway, we're getting across there. That's the main thing. Everything appears to be all right. I've got a good match into the aerial, into the rig. So that's all right. So I'm not quite sure why it's not quite such a good signal as it has been in the past. But there we are. Not to worry. All is working out. Okay. Yes, as you say, it looks like some attention needed to that automatic ATU or some connection to it. Perhaps maybe the Earth is not as good as it was, maybe, Mike. Although you say you're using a dipole, so it probably doesn't need an Earth as such. But maybe that's part of it. Not sure how far away your little mini lake is, as to whether that's going to be a help as regards your earthing conditions, Mike, for an end-fed aerial perhaps. But interesting to know how deep your little lake is. Perhaps you haven't ventured that far yet. But anyway, understand you want to call it a day, Mike. Quite understand. Busy day. Lots of things to do. First day back in the new year. So hopefully we'll catch up with you again next week. Thank you very much indeed for coming up and joining us, Mike. Very much appreciated on both top band and 80 metres. And we'll look forward to catching you next week. Golf 8 Delta Victor Kilo to take G0AOZ of the group.
Yeah, G0AOZ in the group from JDVK. Fine, all copied from everybody, no problems at all, which is good news. Quite a lot of continental interference. Seems I'm struggling with you, and it isn't the signal strength, it's the continental interference that's causing problems as far as I'm concerned in copying everything you're saying. But basically you're about a 5 and 8. So I heard M0 UHF call in as well, quite a reasonable signal. Mike, just going back to you, Mike, good to hear that you nodded off then, so obviously you're relaxing in front of that 12 kilowatt fire or whatever it chucks out, and quite a tremendous amount of heat, and a glass of wine and a decent meal. Well, I think most of us could nod off under those conditions. I didn't copy what you meant about the mini lake, but won't hold you up if you want to get away. Can't visualise really where you would have a puddle, because the ground sort of slopes away to the away from you from most directions, I think. Maybe to the back of the house could be, yes, of course, near where the tower is that we helped with. I've been playing with this computer, Roger, just a quickie on that. It's intermittent because I found out that it's every now and then it will actually load up everything. Certainly the disk drive is running all the time, and every now and then it perks up and I can open up all the programs. So I'm going to take I'll try and get some backups from things I need whilst it's running. But if that fails, then I'll perhaps call on your services to download one or two things which may be very useful from my point of view. The usual things, lack of backing up things. Right, okay, so I think that's about it from me. So back down to you, Roger, and I wish Mike 7-3, and thanks for calling in. Great signal, as usual, from over there, and we'll see you maybe over the weekend. G0AOZ in the group from JDVK.
Yes, okay, Dave, JDVK, G0AOZ returning with the group. Just a quick one, Dave. Just tell me what operating system it's running.
Windows 10.
Okay, that's fine. Just interested to know. G0AOZ returning. Okay, well, it might be worth actually getting a clone of the complete hard drive, just to rule that one out, Dave. Then you've got a complete copy of everything, and another hard disk could actually slot back into the machine, and off you go. But maybe the problem isn't with the actual hard disk itself. Maybe it's with the motherboard somewhere. But won't talk too much about computers on the net this evening. But just a thought for you, I could take a clone of it if you so wish, Dave. Right, round to you, Clint. 20HTG, G0AOZ in the group.
G0AOZ in the group, 2E0HTG. Okay, thank you very much for my signal reports. So you guys on 80 meters, Roger, yeah, very strong signal, 10 over 9, no problem at all. Dave, you are 59, but you're actually slightly higher than that. It's slightly stronger than S9. Ron, you're 10 over, no problem at all. And Mike, F4VRB. I couldn't hear you at all when you started your last over, but on this over you were actually sort of peaking at 4 and 8, and I could copy you no problem. So it's a bit annoying that you that you can't hear me. But the noise conditions are very different for me here from between top band and 80 meters. It was very quiet actually around about S3 when you guys were working on top band, but that was with a magnetic loop, which probably makes a difference. The noise level here on 80 meters is peaking around about S8, so it's not the worst, but not the best. So I think so I'm going to I'm flying to Australia on Sunday afternoon. So last few days I've been sort of packing my suitcase and getting everything ready. And I know that on the net last week, Roger, we joked about trying to copy the net from the other side of the world. And I don't know whether you guys know or not, but I normally take some radio equipment with me whenever I go on a business trip. So I've got a magnetic loop packed. That it's made by Bonito, which you guys, who, if you're only into ham radio, won't be familiar. It's a German antenna company. Basically, it's like a Wellbrook magnetic loop, but it's a cable rather than an aluminium tube. And the actual antenna itself, the amplifier, runs off 5 volts USB. So it's and you can run the antenna just on a USB power brick or a homebrew battery pack. And I'm taking an SDR Play RSPDX. So basically I'm taking an SDR receiver, wideband up to, that's 2 gigahertz, and I'll take a portable shortwave radio with me. So that's kind of what I do. I take my business trips and use them as opportunities to listen to the radio all around the world. So I will tune in from Brisbane next Friday. I doubt I'll be able to hear anything. They're 10 hours ahead. I haven't looked at where the grey line is going to be, etc., but I'll have a look and maybe have a listen if I think it's worthwhile. Okay, back to you, Roger. G0 AOZ in the group from 2E0HTG.
Yes, okay, 5 business, Clint, 2E0HTG, G0AOZ, returning with the group, okay. Fine on that, and hope the trip goes well for you down under, and you hear some interesting stations. I'm sure you will when you're listening around, although I suspect you'd be hard pushed to hear any of us on the Friday night net, but you never know, things could change. It could suddenly be a huge opening or something, and something happens and you hear us, but anyway, I'm not going to hold my breath. Okay, Clint, many thanks indeed for that, and I wonder if M0UHF would like to come in, but I'd have to ask Dave if he would QSP, because I can't hear Jeff at all, unfortunately. So I will ask M0UHF to take transmission. This is G0AOZ of the group, over. UHF from G8DVK in the group. Okay, Jeff, fine. Well, thanks very much for the report. That's very nice, thanks. And you are 5.9 plus. You're 5.9 plus with me as well. That's about 5 dBs. Perfectly copable, no problems at all. So obviously made some improvements there. And I'm extremely envious of your 3 to 5 noise floor. That is extremely good. Okay, a couple of things while I'm on, if you don't mind, Roger. I forgot to give thank Ron for the better report. 509 plus 15. That's good news. Okay, so back around to you, Roger. So obviously Jeff is copying a few of us. He thinks he heard Mike. M0UHF. Sorry, G0AOZ from JDVK. Yes, okay, Dave, JDVK 0AOZ with M0UHF. Yes, unfortunately, I can just about tell occasionally that Jeff is there, but I couldn't tell when he ended his transmission, and I couldn't really make anything readable out of what he was saying, unfortunately, but just the orientation of the aerials, I think, is causing that, but there we are. Okay, right, going to pass it round to you, Ron, G0BNC, G0AOZ in the group, over. G0AOZ in the group, from G0BNC. Okay, I too didn't hear Jeff, but figured something was there, but I couldn't make not one word of it, so unfortunately. I don't think the microphone made difference to Dave on the other aerial, but certainly it's a really good signal to me on 80. I was hoping the noise floor would be different on this. I was, well, by magic, I think I probably thought, because one of the pairs was the receive. I changed a couple of components, but what I have done is remove the ATU. That's one of the areas I made it short when I was twiddling they were there, and so I was actually trying to get out, and I couldn't figure out, how to take it out. But I thought, right, I'll just coming out, because there was an intermittent fault on transmitting that area somewhere, and so I got it out, and I was hoping that might make an improvement. That was the area where the transmit fault was in that area. And I since found a report, which I've never seen before, because I try to get as much information as I can on this radio. Just trying to help me with the repairs. And someone has done a mod to bypass the ATU, because apparently, apparently it does, because I've looked since, it goes through the receive side also goes through the ATU, so that must be degrading the signal a bit, and he's done a mod to bypass it, but that status, this ATU has been taken out. But what a nightmare trying to get cables long enough to work on. I've had to make some, what is that, get some connectors in there, TMF, is it, or TPM or something like that, which you push in like thin coaxials, and they're just not long enough if you want to move a board, to take all the measurements in the PA stage, for instance. And they were about over £10 each, and I wasn't paying that. And the connectors was about £3 on each, so you needed the male and the females, and I wanted at least 2 pairs. So I made one up, which actually tilt the PA unit a bit, and just about get some voltages. But I need to make some more up to a bit longer still, because there's 2 that gets in the way. But I might do this mod on the ATU, well, not to bypass the ATU from receive. So put the thing back. I'll only lose it if I don't put it back in the radio. So unfortunately, it might have made some improvement, but it didn't make an awful lot with the noise this end. But there again, I didn't know the noise is there because it's on the other radio, even with a battery. So there we go. We can't win them all. We don't win many, unfortunately. The 2 hours in the group on G0BNC. Yes, okay, Ron, G0BNC, G0AOZ returning with the LM Friday night net. Okay, yeah, sounds like you're having fun trying to make up some little connectors there. Again, I'm not sure exactly what definition they give them, but I know the sort of things that you mean. And some of the cables are made just to fit so that when the board is in place, it just reaches. But if you want to take the board out to run it at all, they're just not long enough, are they? So I appreciate your dilemma there and having to try and make up your own leads because of the cost of buying them. But there we are. That's one of those things. Okay, I'll leave a pause in case Mike wishes to come back, but quite understand if you don't, Mike. So if you're not there, then Dave, please pick it up. F4BRB G0AOZ in the group. Call understood, F4BRB G0AOZ returning. Many thanks for coming up, Mike. Appreciate it very much. Nice to hear you on both bands. Hope everything goes well with the decorating and sorting things out, and we'll look forward to catching up with you next Friday. J8TVK to take G0AOZ in the group.
Yeah, G0AOZ in the group from JDVK. Okay, well, 7-3, Mike. Yes, I know what you mean now. That's interesting. Still one thing about it, I bet the well's really full now. Obviously, you've had a fair amount of rain over there, which is good news. Okay, Ron, tonight I think your signals are probably on 80 metres on the best I've heard from you. So, some great improvement there, which is good news. Clint, the trip to VK land, of course it's early evening when we possible transmissions from VK, but I guess most of the stations that get through are running pretty high power. And that's only on the occasions when they do come through. I think I've heard them sort of about 1600, 1700, and Ree's signal's not that great at the moment this year that I've heard anyway. Okay, Roger, about the, yes, quickly on the computer, yes, well, maybe that would be a good idea if we can just take a complete copy of everything. That would be very useful, but let me have a play over the weekend and see how I get on. Right, I think that's about it from me, but I think whatever wrong needs to be done, it's made an improvement. I seem to remember there was somebody else was using 2 ATUs to try and tune up on frequency, and it really isn't the thing to do. So if you bypass the ATU in the radio, that's probably a very good move, and then use an external ATU. Okay, I'll make this my final, but I will be listening to what everybody else says and come back if I'm asked to comment on anything. G0AOZ in the group, and thanks for running the net, Roger, from J8TVK.
Yes, okay, Dave, G8TVK, G0AOZ returning with the group. Okay, fine on that, and yes, I think that was our friend dear old Tim who was using a couple of ATUs, as I recall, but you're quite right, you should really only be using one, and there's something radically wrong somewhere if you're having to use two, I think, ordinarily speaking anyway. So I suspect an external ATU is far better and more versatile than perhaps the one that's in the rig. But there we are. Anyway, good to hear you this evening, Dave, and if you want any help with that laptop, I'll be pleased to try and assist. And don't play about with it too much and break it. Let's get the clone made first, then you can play around with it, Dave. Hi. Okay, wish you good night, Dave. Many thanks indeed for coming up, and please give kind regards to Anne, and also kind regards to your Anne in to for a final comment. G0AOZ in the group.
G0AOZ in the group, 2E0HTG. Yeah, thanks. I'll make this my final. Jeff. M0UHF, I can't hear him at all, and I'm never able to hear him, so I don't know whether there's some kind of antenna orientation issue there, possibly. I know that some of you can hear him quite well, and I'm never able to hear him. I share the skepticism, Dave, about copying you guys in VK land. But there's actually quite a few more opportunities because I'm going to Australia, but I'm not there very long. And when I come back, I've got to go to Zurich. And then when I've done that, I'm probably going to go back to Texas for a week. And then later in the summer, Cape Verde. So there's several other opportunities to try and copy the Harwell net from further afield coming up in the next few months. It feels like I'm traveling all the time at the moment, and but being able to listen to the radio makes it all a bit more interesting for me. And it's because I can't with my license, I can't transmit abroad yet. Listening to ham radio operators from abroad is the next best thing, and it's always interesting. So I think that's about it from me. I'll see you guys when I get back from Australia, no doubt. Actually, I've still got some antenna stuff to do here, actually, because as you know, I use FT8, and I've been using my G5RV for FT8. I need to put my Eurocom SEX80. This kind of 80 meter to 6 meter wideband vertical antenna up on my new house. And I think I mentioned I've been experimenting with FT8 on sort of 2 meters. With a collinear, homebrew collinear that G1ZMA built for me, which was very kind of him. I didn't even ask him to do it. He obviously had too much time on his hands. And I've been decoded in Northern Ireland down to Cornwall, but I need to probably put that in the loft. So I've got a bit of work to do, putting up antennas, but obviously the trip to Australia comes first. And then we'll see what happens. So anyway, nice to work you all again tonight. Thanks, Roger, as always, for running the net. Very much appreciated, and no doubt I'll participate on the next Friday after I get back from down under. Back to you, Roger. G0AOZ in the group from 2E0HTG.
Returning. Well, I hope the antenna work goes okay, and also your trip to Australia. And certainly hope you enjoy doing a bit of shortwave listening whilst you're on your trip. And of course, certainly Zurich, if you're there at the right listening at the right time, there's every chance you might be able to hear us certainly on 80 meters with conditions allowed, and possibly on top band. 80 meters more likely, I would have thought. But anyway, it'd be interesting to hear your reports in due course from your various destinations, Clint. Many thanks indeed for coming up this evening, and I'll bid you a very good night. Good night to Jeff. Sorry I can't hear you, Jeff, but I'm told you're in there, and I have just about heard something, some transmission of some sort, which I assume to be yourself. Sorry I can't copy, but that's the way it goes. Okay, round to you, Ron, for any final comments, and then I shall close the net. G0PNC, G0AOZ in the group.
Just had a thought. I don't know whether I can do it, but I might be able to try and get the loop working for next week, possibly. I just had a thought. I've got some 7 or 8 core cables in the garage. I don't know if I've got enough. It will depend on whether I've got any 6-pin microphone type connectors, which is what I use for the rotator. And maybe I'll make a switch arrangement so I can have a switch and switch the cables as well, and be able to rotate it. But I'm not sure whether I've got any more 6-pin microphone plugs
pretty much I've got. So I might be able to have a go at that one. So yes, I've put this radio on the side for now since I've done most of the work on it, and the source of PA transistors seems to be China, and I'm quite shy of China at the moment. Hopefully I'll be on the 2 meters, the portable, because I've had a problem with that as well. The inverter played backed up, and I'm still fighting the chap who sent me 10 used ones. He keeps asking stupid questions. Today he's come back and said, could I send some photos? I've already sent him photos. And could I show you what was the bag like? And I told him it came from China, that's why it took so long. But then I ordered another inverter, and would you believe it? You can't even push the 13 amp plugs in. But he's now agreed to, or requested that he gives me half the money back and for me to do a repair. In fact, I've actually done a rough repair. I've taken the shutter out. I can push the plug in now. But yes, I've been sort of fighting it, and that's been quite a bit of a long job this week. Emailing backwards and forwards on those two things. So hopefully I'll be able to make some progress this coming week. Okay, that's it from me then. Hopefully I'll have a safe trip print over to Oz, and get you sort any business in your favour while you're over there. Yeah, I hope it goes well that sort of way. And we'll, I don't expect we'll hear you next week, but hopefully we'll hear everyone else. What was I going to say? Was something about the there's something with the noise on this. I can't remember what it was now. So old agency, but so there we go. I must have done my snooze. Well, 2 o'clock anyway. Right, geez, group. Good night, everyone. From Golf Sierra Bravo, November Charlie, Whitney, West Oxford, Chatterwell, Paul Plug.
Yes, okay, Ron, many thanks indeed to Eastbound G0BNC, G0AOZ returning. Okay, fine business, Ron, all copied, and have you managed to get everything sorted out? And that's with the weather nice, that's supposed to be reasonable for the weekend, maybe a bit of outdoor activity on the aerials or in the garden or something. All the very best. Thank you all very much for coming up and joining the net this evening. Without you, it wouldn't happen. So many thanks indeed, and look forward to speaking to you again next Friday. This is G0AOZ Golf Zero Alpha Oscar Zulu, now closing the net for the Harwell Amateur Radio Society, bidding everybody good night.
7-3.
Yes, how many people were you copying over? That's about it then. You've been hearing everybody. And just curious, what antenna system you're running?
Okay, guys. There you go. That's the Harwell Amateur Radio Society Friday night net. That's pretty typical. I try not to miss it because if I spend a week and I don't have time to make any contacts on the radio, then I know that I'm going to at least speak to a few people on a Friday night. So I hope that was interesting at least, even if it's not so interesting that you've been glued to your computer screens. So yeah, it's just something that the guys actually initiated this originally just for the benefit of the club members. It's not actually designed for all and sundry to kind of take part, although if people do call in, we always speak to them. But it's actually designed to encourage members of the club to actually use their radios, funnily enough. Seems crazy really, but that's what it's for, and it's quite enjoyable. Okay, so I have to shut down now, as I have things to do. So I have to close the stream, but thanks very much for joining me. Very much appreciated. It's interesting to. It's more interesting doing this. I'm just basically not doing anything special. I'm just doing what I would always do on a Friday night, which is listen to the radio, do the Friday night net, do some FT8, and so I'm just literally, as I said, I'm doing what I would normally do. But it's nice to have you guys here as well. So thank you very much. Okay, yeah. So I'll close the stream now. But thanks everybody for taking the time to drop by, even if it was only for a short time. Thanks a lot.